الرحيم. اللهم كل وليك يا الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توعا تمتعه فيها طويلا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك نبي الرحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله، يا إمام الرحمة، يا شفيع الأمة، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله قدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيهة عند الله اشفعي لنا عند الله. يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا إبراهيم يا موسى بن جعفر أيها الكاظم يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الهادي النقي ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا وسي الحسن والخلف الحجة أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا سادتي وموالي إني توجهت بكم أئمتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله وتوسلت بكم إلى الله واستشفعت بكم إلى الله فاشفعوا لي عند الله واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله فكونوا عند الله رجائي. يا سادتي يا أولياء الله صلى الله عليهم أجمعين ولعن الله أعداء الله ظالميهم من الأولين والآخرين آمين رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما بقية الله في السماوات والأراضين روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء. أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I received a question this week. As you know, today is the Shahadat of Hazrat Zahra Salamullahi alayha, and we still continue our AHKAM and Islamic rules, inshallah. Bibi do Alam Fatima Zahra Salamullahi alayha will become happy, and she will be pleased when she sees me and you focusing on ahkam and our Islamic rules, inshallah. So I received a question. I'm going to read the question, and also I'm going to explain for you the answer. That it says, what is the ruling on paying khums on retirement plans? In the United States, we can have our employer deduct a certain portion of our paycheck and put it in retirement account. Sometimes the employer matches our percentage. If I put in 3% of my paycheck, then the employer will put in another 3%, and so on. I cannot pull the money out of the retirement account until 67 years old. So the question is this my money? Yes. Can I pull it out before retiring? No. Is there any penalty for pulling out earlier? Yes. Is it taxed? No, unless it is actually Roth IRA. When is it taxed? Upon withdrawal at retirement. And now the thing is, when is khums due on this account? The answer is yes, you have to pay the khums when you get retired and when you get this money. So the thing is, I'm going to explain again the question for you, that the money is your money, but you cannot have it until the age of 67. That means basically your money is in the pocket of somebody else. It's just like when you give qarz al-hasana to someone. So when you give qarz al-hasana to someone, that means that's your money, but he's using it right now. But once you get the money back, you have to pay the khums. Same story is here. Like sometimes the government or your employer, he keeps your money for your retirement. But once you get it, at that time, then you have to pay the khums when you get that money. So this is about the question that I received it. And inshallah ta'ala, feel free to ask me questions if you have any question. And the answer is this: khums will become payable on the amount in the 401k deposit only after you have gained access to that money. That means when you have access to that money, at that time you have to pay the khums of that. So this is about the money that you put on the side for your retirement, not you, the employer, or the another 3%, for example, for your for one K, whatever it is called in the American, like it's called 401k, that you have to pay the khums of that, inshallah, too. So sometimes some people's expenses is clear. Like I know that every month that I have to spend at least like $4,000, for example, right? So this $4,000 is my regular expenses that I have to spend every year, every month. So if I spend extra while I don't need it, for example, some people, they waste the money. They waste the money. For example, they go every day to the restaurant, they buy different new cars, different shoes with different labels. Those people are trying to waste the money. So it's not your regular expenses. So your regular expenses, for example, $4,000. That's your food, that's your house mortgage or payment, whatever. Your car payments is only $4,000. But if he or she spends more than he needs, more than the regular expenses, then that will be a different case. For example, he every day goes to the restaurant instead of staying home. For example, he actually buys his shoes for $1,000, but he can wear the shoes for $100. He buys the car for $200,000 while he can drive a car for $100,000, right? So for $50,000, for $60,000, whatever. So he or she wastes the money. Instead of saving it, they waste the money. According to Ayatollah Sistani, Hafazahullah, they have to pay the khums of that difference. For example, your regular expenses every month are $4,000. Now, instead of $4,000, you waste the money here, there, like you spend $6,000. So at the end of the year, instead of $50,000 that you were supposed to spend for your expenses, you spend $70,000, for example. So $20,000 here is difference because of wasting money. From that $20,000 that he or she wasted during the year, he has to pay the khums. This is also very important ahkam. So two things have been actually explained today. One is about those monies that the employer keep for you, and that's for your retirement. Once you access to that money in your retirement at the age of 67, then you have to pay the khums from that. Number two, those people who spend more than their need and their regular expenses is, for example, $4,000. But instead of $4,000, he spends $6,000, $7,000. He wasted here, there. So that difference, that's, for example, $3,000 difference. It's going to be $40,000 a year. From that, he has to also pay the khums. So brothers and sisters, please remember these ahkam are very important, and you should ask questions if you don't know. Because once we believe that the khums is the money of Imam Zaman alayhi salam, we are right now in the house of Imam Zaman and Bayt Wali alayhi salam. So you cannot get the money of Imam Zaman alayhi salam without his permission. So when you want to use it, you have to be careful. Who is going to get that money? And where are you going to pay? We have ijazah here. You can spend it here. But the places who do not have ijazah, you cannot give the money to them. Because that's the money of Imam Zaman alayhi salatu wasalam. But you are going to be responsible for it at the day of judgment, at the day of qiyamah. And we have to be very, very careful about the ahkam and the money that we use, because actually, at the time of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, those people who stood up against Imam Hussein alayhi salam, they were all Muslim, they were praying. But Imam alayhi salatu wasalam says the reason that you stand up against your Imam is one thing. لَقَدْ مُلِئَتْ بُطُونُكُم مِّنَ الْحَرَامِ. Your stomach is full of haram. It doesn't mean that they were eating pork. It doesn't mean that they were drinking. It doesn't mean that they were actually, for example, eating haram meats. No. They were all Muslim. They were praying. They were fasting. They were going to the halal stores. But the thing is one thing, because they were not paying the money of the Imam, the khums. And that khums, if someone doesn't pay, what will happen? That will be spent for the haram purposes. And then that person will be responsible at the day of judgment. So this ahkam is very important. And that's why we keep continuing and we keep explaining every week 2-3 mas'ala. And if you have any question, please feel free to contact me at 973-610-5871. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.